Hello, friends. As we transition to a new era for humanity, one based on advancement rather than conflict, I believe we can discover basic principles in nature that will enable us to begin at home. By that, I mean by healing conflict and negativity within ourselves. And that is the overriding topic of this video series. In response to conversations about my first video, Love and Hate in the Light of the Principle of Polarity, I would like to first expand upon the subject with some examples that show how we are not truly victims of these seemingly conflicting emotions, but that we are actually in control of them according to our will, even though we may be unaware of our own mental and emotional processes at the time. I'm sure I needn't go into much detail about how we can easily descend from a state of the most idyllic love to the lowest form of hate. Our literature and theater are full of dramatic depictions of the loving spouse who arrives home at an unfortunate moment, only to find their partner entwined with another and engaged in the most flagrante delicto upon the marital bed, or perhaps the floor. Suddenly, a blind rage consumes the reason. A furious hand reaches for a snub-nosed 357 in the dresser drawer, and betrayal in all its agony is avenged. But wasn't this violent swing from love to hate someone's free decision? What of the open marriage based on different concepts of betrothal, which we may or may not perceive as moral? The preceding private scene might instead result in nothing more than, "Hi, honey, I'm home. Who's your friend?" But what of the undeniable wrong that was committed against me, you may ask? How can I learn to love those that have abused me, or my loved ones so horribly that I must take to the law courts, or even take up arms myself against them? Imagine, if you will, the most terrible affront that you have ever experienced in your life. Remember the perpetrator, that you're still unhealed feelings for him or her, and now imagine that this person comes to you today with a sincere apology and $1,000,000 for your hand, crying fervently that they have just won the lottery and must make recompense to you and beg for your forgiveness for the wrongs they have done in order to be free from the toxic guilt that has condemned their soul for so long. Wouldn't you at least feel a little better towards them? At least a neutral feeling rather than a hateful one. Perhaps you may even forgive them and find your own release from the polar imbalance those hateful crimes have caused in you, allowing you to regain your freedom from hate yourself. And just what was it that caused this change, this transition along the pole of hate to love? Was it the apology? Many witnesses at the gas chamber say that the apology was not enough. Was it the money? But money is not a sentient being. It has no will or mind of its own. How could money make you feel better or worse? Aha, it was you that made you feel better by deciding that the conditions were appropriate and justified for you to change your feelings. You judged, you gave clemency, and you dispensed justice for your own emotions by rising up of your own free will along the scale, and you did it in a minute. Another principle that underlines the universe and lives as a part of it is the principle of vibration. This principle makes the movement along the scale of love and hate possible, since vibration is simply movement. Everything, both matter and energy, is in constant motion, and fast motion is seen or felt by us as vibration, while vibration that's too slow to be perceived by our senses as movement, we mislabel as permanence or eternity. There are many analogies that describe the fact that all is in vibration, depending on our relative correspondence to that which we behold. But it is we ourselves that I wish to describe as vibrating. Surely you can agree that a baby pulsates with life and energy at a quicker rate than a geriatric on their deathbed. or that happiness seems to be of a higher vibrational state of consciousness than abject misery or seething anger. If we can see ourselves as part of a constantly vibrating universe, stretching from the densest neutron star to the most transmutable life of creation, then we can change ourselves, or at least allow ourselves to be changed by our beliefs. And this seems as natural and normal as the changing seasons every year, or the precession of the equinoxes every 26,000. So if there is something that you wish to change, there is a lot of inertial movement already happening all around you in the universe. And all that energy can be harnessed by you to enact the changes that you desire in whichever direction you desire, just as easily as a skateboarder grabs a toe from the back of a passing truck. Goodbye for now, and have a nice time until we meet again, when we can further discuss the principle of vibration and other principles that we see around us in nature and within ourselves.